live now. Excellent. I'm going to mute all these.
Hello from the Potomac Curling Club, a stone's throw from the Washington Beltway. I'm Bo Dewar. Andy Inglis will be joining us shortly to answer Paul's question. I believe the scrape went pretty well. Andy is back now. Um, yeah, Paul Luthi asked how the scrape went.
Well, I think it went pretty well, right on time. We are ready to start, so hopefully we got a nice, good surface for them to play in.
As usual, I'll run through all the teams and players after the first end or so to give everyone a chance to tune in first. They are staring at the coin tosses. The coins here are very difficult to read sometimes. You know, it's a bear on one side, Queen Elizabeth on the other in some cases, and Queen Elizabeth doesn't look like a bear, but on a coin she sort of does. We can run through the I'll run through the teams, though. On sheet A, Team Black, they are from Potomac / Cape Cod / Butts County. They're basically youngsters. Even though it's Team Black, Diana Black will be the vice. Anna Senzali is the skip. They're playing Team Fermender, which is from Philadelphia / Plainfield. The skip is Janine Fermender. Our feature game on sheet B, Potomac, Laura, Lauren, and honorary Laura. The honorary Laura is their skip, Courtney Shaw. Team Lynch from Triangle is their opponent, skipped by Ellen Lynch. On sheet C, an all-Potomac battle from Team Hamilton, skipped by Kama Hamilton. Team Findlay, skipped apparently not by Dawn Findlay, but by Laura Findlay. Somebody scratched out the sheet that we had. And also on sheet D, Team Kirkman will not be skipped by Linda Kirkman this morning. She will be back later. So for this morning, the Potomac / Philadelphia team, after playing with a couple of spares, Robin Flavel will be the skip there. And they are playing from Butts County, Team Sheffer, skipped by Michelle Sheffer. On our feature game, we're ready for our first rock delivery. Well, yeah, they have. People sometimes forget to update the scoreboards. Yellow will have hammer. So if you're looking at the other end of the ice and you see the hammer sign by red, that is incorrect because red is delivering first. And so that would actually be kind of confusing to deliver first and have the hammer. Seems like that would be an awful lot of advantages.
Actually, it's running super straight. I wanted it in. Sweep it in.
Apparently it's running super straight, says Courtney Shaw, who has a very distinctive voice that carries in the ice. Whether she's on the ice or in the warm room, you can usually hear Courtney, possibly in the hockey rinks next door.
Not a bad quality to have in a skip. You can hear them over anything. So
I was playing recently, and I just heard this kind of vague yes, and I looked up and said, "Was that you?" And the guy goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, it's clarity is very important. Skipping, you got to be, got to be confident in your calls and make sure you're heard. Well, this one's looking pretty too heavy. It's going to go all the way through probably.
I never do that. No. So, hello, Brian and Paul. Yes, Courtney has a nice new jacket. Paul says, looks like the rest of the team forgot to coordinate. I don't know, because we're not allowed into the locker rooms. They are both women's locker rooms, which means I have no name tag. Of course, I forgot to bring a key anyway, because as usual, as I'm taking my wife's car anyway. So people around here are just going to have to assume I am who I say I am.
So
this one is going to be a tight guard, I think was the call. So first one is exactly where they wanted it, top four. Now, since it's such a good spot, they're going to guard it up. It needs to curl over a bit. Looks like it's going to get close.
Yeah, both sweepers getting over there.
Pretty good. Covers at least half of it. So I think they're going to persist with the corner guard here for Lynch. See if we can make the adjustment from the first one. Certainly less.
It's a lot less. I'm a little worried about it crossing the hog line, and it does not.
No. It did stop there at a point. I wonder if they thought they might have burned it, or maybe they just thought it wasn't going to get there. So
it's what they often do to me when I'm sweeping. They occasionally the skip will just say, "Don't burn yourself out," because they recognize that some of us of a certain age don't have all the endurance in the world. All right, so delivering second rods is. Have they messed up our order on us?
It appears to be Laura Hewer delivering second. And
yeah.
This one over curling a bit.
Yeah, Laura Hewer listed as the vice, but is curling second. Laura Yee will be the vice then. This one, kind of going with the same one. It thought for a second it might get a nice little bounce off the existing center guard and provides kind of a staggered wall of guards.
going to go after shot stone here. Not an easy shot. Can't see a lot of the target stone. So the weight will be very important with this one. Just a hack weight, I imagine.
Looks like it, and she might have maybe pulled the string a little bit. No, this is going to get past the guard. No, I thought it was going to get past the guard, but, well.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, that worked. It did touch the guard, but not enough to take it too far off path, and so out goes shot stone.
Yeah, couldn't do too much better than that. Was no way you were really going to whirl under there with the shot stone was so buried. So a pretty good shot. But hit and roll is going to be the aim here. It's really a question of who can get fully under cover first. This one needs to curl up a bit. Probably going to just get to nose. Just roll to the outside.
And roll the other way. And hangs around. So they will have to deal with that. The second for Team Lynch is Michelle Walker. I don't think what you heard from the ice there was from our feature game.
No, I think the call is just straight draw here. Just ignore the red in the house and go right around. And I think that's the right call. The red is in a 12-foot, not very dangerous rock. And the line looks pretty good here if the weight's going to be good. So they backed right off it for now. Looks pretty close.
As long as it stops, and Courtney's going to give it a little bit of a sweep, but it's still going to be shot and over buried a little bit. So it's peeking out on the right, but I think that would be pretty difficult to hit. I'm looking straight down the line, and I can see a little bit of it, but from the hack, slightly different angle, probably not.
Yeah, just going to follow it down and try and sit top 4. Did go a little deep with the Yellowstone there, so it's a good chance to close the scoring area. Here, Lauren called back 8 there is what they think this is right now, so they're not going to touch it. Still looks a little heavy. They don't want to go at all. And also pretty wide for line. I don't think it's really going to bury.
No, I don't think it's going to curl enough. And it is going to stay in play, but now it's Deirdre Arnold now for the first of her rods for triangle. Could make it rather difficult at this stage. Looks like the call is another draw. They can draw kind of to the top 4, or kind of to the top of the 4-foot. They might block off any path to follow the last one down.
It's definitely not heavy, this one.
No, we're about to have 3 sweepers on this one. They'll get it across the hog line, but that's probably about it. And actually not across the hog line either.
It gives a chance to try the same shot again here for Courtney's team. Just take 6 feet off, and should be, I say that like it's easy, of course, but good chance.
Yeah, always going to have the first end struggles for weight a little bit, but this is actually been not too bad. This is looking like a pretty good one.
This is looking really good.
Yeah. Really great adjustment, says Courtney Shaw. Indeed it is. That's going to be a difficult red to get out of there.
Yeah, wonderful shot. I mean, maybe 6 inches too deep if you're really a perfectionist, but a really great shot there. Really, there's no scoring area left except the button, so doing a good job of shutting down the target area here without the hammer.
Deirdre Arnold appears to have made her own adjustment. As this one seems a bit better. Sweepers are well. At first it was one sweeper, now it's two. And this is looking, if they can get it a little bit farther, it's not going to be shot, but it does give them something to tap up if Courtney Shaw is not able to block that path.
But they've got this, so probably.
I believe Courtney said something about a guard.
Yeah, interesting choice. That yellow is fully open, but they are already shot, buried. So choosing instead to guard up the yellow so they can't be promoted, I think. Could consider just hitting it. You could possibly roll in line 2, but of course the risk of jamming on your own red is significant. So playing a safer call.
Hearing a lot of low, and the hard sweeping calls you're hearing are from other sheets, of course. Well, I was thinking this might have been a bit narrow. It is not. It is perhaps a bit wide, but if they get a nice curl here at the end, no, it's not going to be. That has drifted too far on Courtney.
Yeah, pretty sure that is not where they wanted to put that, but not a terrible result. Third shot for that stone. So. But yeah, not the guard they were hoping for. So a chance here to tap up Yellowstone. Angle tap for shot.
Yeah, still a bit of a chance for two if they can tap that one and then tap again. That would require a miss from Courtney. Our other games proceeding at roughly the same pace so far. We're all on skip rots on all of them. So the first skip rock on the way from Ellen Lynch. A little bit more weight to it. Looks like they might end up hitting the one Courtney just threw. I'm not sure they're going to get it to the. Well, no, they make slight contact with their own yellow, but not enough to make it shot. At least I'm pretty sure it's not. Our overhead camera can be a little bit deceiving, but that certainly doesn't look like shot.
Yeah, it's definitely still red, and it makes me wonder. I'm not sure now which shot was being played, whether they were intending to hit the back red or promote their yellow, because it seems they maybe just overswept it for the promote on the yellow. Needed to curl up a bit more.
You may have heard Courtney verify that they are still shot.
So I think it'll be another attempt at this guard, right? Just put it in the perfect spot this time.
Certainly seems that way, and as Courtney did say, things seem to be running a little bit straight because the broom is not particularly far wide there. A very light release from Courtney. I don't think this is going to sail deep on her. The question's going to be line.
Yeah, I heard them call 2, so they seem pretty happy with the weight. Looks pretty good here.
All right, so you won't see on the overhead, but it is 2.5. And that should effectively block off any sort of draw path. fact, I'm trying to see how they can score. They could do sort of an angle raise off the one Courtney just threw and go red into yellow, yellow into red, and just get shot by a couple of inches. They're going the other way. Now this is interesting because the shot rock and second shot are both quite well guarded. If you could, obviously, if you could somehow get that red out of there, you could score too. But I don't see how that's going to happen. It's from this angle seems to be drifting left, and it's going to wreck. All right, so that's going to wreck on the guard, and we're going to have a steal of one for the Lauren, and honorary Laura, the Potomac team. They will be up 1-0. Looks like Laura Hewer is vicing but throwing third and fourth stones, says Paul Ruthie. Oh, okay, can see that. So a quick run through who's who. On sheet A, Team Black, Potomac, Cape Cod, and Butts. The skip is Anna Stanzali. The vice is Diana Black. Second is Odessa Herrera. Lead is Jane Kobalinski. That is, of course, a fairly young team. Diana has been playing at U18 and doing very well for the last couple of years. They are playing Team Fermender from Philadelphia/Plainfield. Janine Fermender is the skip. Kelly Giddis, Krista Keister, and Charlotte Clark. Lauren, and honorary Laura. Courtney Shaw, the skip. Laura Hewer, vice, but throwing third and fourth, Paul believes. And that seems to make sense. Laura Yee then will be throwing third rots. Well, that we know. And Lauren Luthi is lead. Team Lynch from Triangle. Ellen Lynch is the skip. Deirdre Arnold is the vice. Michelle Wobker is second. Kelly Sinnott is lead. On sheet C, the all-Potomac matchup. Team Hamilton with Kama Hamilton, Jeannie Davis, Lisa Gross, and Hannah Burkhart versus Team Findlay, Laura Findlay, Stacy Slett, Laura Barantes, and Stacy Bishop. On sheet D, Team Kirkman, which does not have Linda Kirkman at the moment. Potomac/Philadelphia, so that's Robin Flavel is your skip for this session. They're expecting Linda back later in the day. Pam Smith is the vice, Susan Armiger, and Liz Brown. They're playing Team Sheffer from Butts County. That's Michelle Sheffer, Jill Cardamone, Amy Mensch, and Christina Miller. I'm confused because Andy is sitting right next to me. We do have scores from two of our other sheets. They are to the hammer on sheet D. On sheet A, Team Black scored 2. No, that's 3 with the hammer. On a feature game, again, 1-0 steal. Again, if you see the hammer on the scoreboard at the far end, that is incorrect. That was a steal. Sheet C, if they put the hammer correctly, that was a steal for Team Hamilton. They're up 2-0. Sheet D has just thrown the last of the rods. Did not see what happened over there. Hopefully they will post the score shortly. So that is your score update.
Meanwhile, first corner guard for Lynch curled too wide to be really useful, so I think attempting another one here. This one looks a little bit too heavy at the moment. Not really touching this. Might sit down in time. Line's a lot better than the first one. And so really need to get corner guard tight to the rings would be nice. Oh, looks like it might have lost the handle though. Yeah, reversed the curl and ends up as a center covering the red shot stone. So pretty unfortunate turn of events. And now conundrum for corner, who's just going to draw another one in there. Top 8, top 4. Here comes the draw attempt. Laura Hewer. She's looking for a top of the house. Top 8 would be great. Looks like it might over curl into the guard though, so they're looking now maybe to tap the guard up.
Yeah, it also seemed a little bit heavy, but yeah, if they can tap this guard.
So pretty good result there, honestly. The shot stone is half open, so
Right.
I think they'll probably have a go at it while you can. So the call was hack weight. Not a ton of ice for hack, but it hasn't been curling a huge amount so far this morning.
Curling a bit too much here, I think. They're trying to get past the guard. I don't think that's not going to happen.
Yeah, just going to nose the guard there and kind of jiggle the Reds around a little bit, but not changing too much. Meanwhile, on sheet D, it was a score of 2 for Kirkman in the first end. So only the red teams have scored so far in this event.
We don't know if that was a steal on D because they did not put the hammer anywhere on that, as opposed to our feature sheet where the hammer is on the scoreboard but is incorrect. Right.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams forget about the hammer altogether on the scoreboard when they're playing. Oh, this is really
that's a less than ideal. Yeah. Put there.
Yeah. Unforced error there, so let's see if Lynch can capitalize. Suddenly got shot stone back 4. But they would really like more than a single, so I'm going to try and put another one in there.
And the call is indeed around the top 4. I seem to be expecting a good bit of curling. It does seem like it's curling a bit more than it was in the first end. Sweepers are off of this. Is it going to go too deep and tap their own? Yes, it is, but how far? And it's going to tap it all the way out. So they've essentially just replaced their own shot stone, and they've left it to where it does look like Laura. Let's see, which Laura do we have throwing right now? Laura Yee will have pretty open look at it.
Yeah, I heard Courtney call for a 10.5, which is the hog-to-hog time of the takeout. So it's not a huge weight takeout. It's more sort of control-ish, depending on your system. This one looks a little down for weight, though. Going hard.
Curling a bit. I think it's going to make contact. Question is how long it's going to stay. And they just enough sweeping to make it stay and roll.
Very nicely
roll pretty
controlled
well.
there.
Yeah. So Deirdre Arnold perhaps going to follow it. No, it looks like they're going to go after a guard.
Yeah, I like this call. PL, open up. Things aren't really working out for you, so you've got the hammer. Make sure you can score.
This might be over curling on them, which would send their guard straight into the house, which...
Well, that would be fine.
That would be fine as well.
And, well,
they've removed shot stone, which might have been the intent. Try to run that one back. If it was, very nice shot. So Laura Yee will try to put a shot stone right back where it was. This is pretty wide. It turns to trying to get it buried. In fact, and it's not a lot of weight. It's they've essentially doubled up on guards. And Courtney Shaw does have one in the house, but it is wide open, and I don't think it's going to be there very long.
yeah, looking for the hit and roll attempt here, I think.
it's going to roll the other direction. It does clear the house, and we might be looking at a blank here unless somebody can get something buried.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Courtney's going to draw here. Top 4, you got 2 center guards. There's nothing in the house, so there's no real risk here. You don't have the hammer. It's a perfect chance to sink one, put some pressure on. And a great chance to get your draw weight down too. So not taking a lot of ice here. You can see not even to the edge of the 8 foot to get under a center guard that's just to the right of the center line. So I'm not expecting a ton of curl here.
Yeah, the clockwise path was curling a fair amount, but Courtney's taking the other path down, which we really haven't seen much of this direction except for the takeout we just saw. That takeout did indeed curl a little less than they wanted.
Heard them call 6, which would be top 4, which is pretty much what they're looking for.
Easily past the guards.
Looks like it's just not going to curl over. Weight was pretty good for the shot. Just settled down in the back 4 or back 8 area. So maybe a touch heavy, but not a lot of curl there. So even though they didn't take a lot of ice, they're still didn't bury. Not sure whether that was anything to do with the throw or just there's just no curl in this line. It'd be interesting to see if Team Lynch gets more curl out of this.
Looks like Ellen Lynch, and Deirdre Arnold were discussing whether to draw or to tap, and this looks more like a draw. Tapping the red would not be a bad outcome, especially if they end up rolling a bit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the draw is definitely a nice call, because even if you do tap the red one, the trouble is you will still be back of the house, and you'll still leave a freeze opportunity. So good, get there first, and put a little pressure on, set yourself up for 2 maybe.
Deirdre Arnold hopping out right away as if she's going to sweep it.
The line looks good on this if they have the legs. So
yeah, Deirdre Arnold, they all think this is lighter than it should be. I think it looks pretty good.
I think it's definitely got the weight. So pretty good shot there. Nice draw right into the 4 foot, mostly buried.
Yeah.
I think from the right-hander's hack, I don't think Courtney will be able to see much of this, if any. Looks like they are going to go after it, or maybe it's just a straight draw. They're taking the same ice as their last draw, so I think they might just be freezing onto it.
There is a draw path on the other side coming down the left toward the house, so if Courtney were to just plug things up here, there would still be a shot for 2 for Ellen Lynch. It's not the widest of course, but not the narrowest either.
Like the line on this one, so it's all about the weight now. And it still needs to curl over. It's trying, but I think it should be pretty good to block off this side. Just a little tap on the yellow one. Ooh. It might just be accessible enough to get to the inside and hit and roll off it for 2. Not without risk, though, to play that. Definitely want to throw it with a soft weight. Perhaps you can even just draw and get by it. Might have to move it a little for 2, though.
I think the weight might be more of an issue than the line here, because they throw it too heavy, you can dislodge your own yellow. But you do want enough weight to move that red one a few inches, maybe a foot.
Yeah, it's a very weight-sensitive shot coming up, so let's see. It's on it straight away.
Looks, I was thinking it looks a bit heavier, and it does look a bit wider. Oh, this is way wide. It's going to just bump their own yellow. Well, it bumps their own yellow onto the button, so that will be 1. I don't see any scores up yet on our other sheets. Sheet A has just finished the second end, and so the skips have just headed back down there. And see, we have 16 people. I'm betting that a few of them are from Triangle and Good Morning and Go Duke. And oh, 2 people just left. Go Carolina, Go State, Go NC Central. My apologies. But also Courtney was thinking that her mom, living out west, might be awake in time to see this. So good morning to Courtney's mom. Looks like the call here is a center guard, and it looks like that is pretty much what they're going to get. Maybe a little bit left of center, but not bad at all.
And Courtney opting to go right around the guard here. Not going to start throwing the corner guards at the moment. Happy to just go straight around.
One of my bandmates chimes in with Go Heels. Good morning to you, Billy. And a few people from the Triangle are arguing as well. And go none of the above, says Chris DiPiero. I think that I can understand that to an extent. You get tired of the ACC being overexposed.
I think I'm going to learn a few team names in this broadcast. So this draw not quite going to fully bury, I don't think. Just bury a piece of it right to the button. So too dangerous to really leave it there, so I think I'm going to go straight after this. Looks a little tight for line.
Certainly does. It'd be tricky to get this past their own center guard, and it's not. That's going to wreck.
Might have to. Well, it's going to end up in an awkward spot too. Yeah. Ended up completely guarding the redstone.
Indeed, it did move the center guard. But why? Chris DiPiero asked, "Why are you on the chat when you're at the venue, Rich?" Oh, hi. Rich is right next to me.
Here's Lauren Luthi, going to draw another one into the house, looking for a top 8 area.
Line's great, all you guys. Keep it straight. Straight, Krista. Actually, switch if you can. Both of you go.
I'm pretty happy with this. It just needs to curl a little bit more.
I just figured out that the triangle logo on the back of Deirdre Arnold's jacket is indeed in the shape of a bull. Of course, for the Durham Bulls, made famous in the Kevin Costner, Tim Robbins, Susan Sarandon film. One of my favorite movies. Quick update from Sheet A. That was a score of 1 for Team Fermender, so that is 3-1. Little slip out of the hack there for Michelle Walker, and I think that might put a bit more weight on it than they want. I think this is going to flash through. Unfortunate little slip there.
Yeah, we've all been there. So unfortunately for Lynch, though, it's a perfect opportunity to really lock in these two reds in the forefoot. But Courtney even thinking of another one in the house here. Could also throw another guard on, but maybe looking to apply a little more pressure.
When Janine and I are webcasting, we sometimes refer to things as, you know, half draw, half guard, and we call it maybe a drard or a gaw. not sure if that was the call here.
I think the call was in the house, but I heard Courtney say she thought something was underneath the rock, so a pick there, a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, that was not a natural curl.
So these rocks are quite sensitive, so picks can happen. A little debris on the ice. So a chance to make at least one of these reds go away. May even be able to make a double. And may end up taking the guard off here, which would be okay. Or running it back.
It's going to run back and take out one of those. Oh, no, it curled too much and didn't take out either one, but they are both exposed. Quick update from Sheet C. That was B3 in the second end for Team Finlay. They lead 3-2.
So Courtney with the hammer here, so going around the corner guard, wants to actually leave the center open with the hammer in this situation.
Chris DiPiero points out that Durham is indeed the Bull City, so the logo is for the city, not explicitly the team. Yes, but if you hit the bull in the ballpark, you win a stake.
Well, this one's definitely heavy. It's going to go all the way through, I think.
That is.
So a lot of teams there would have just guarded the two in the house, but Courtney, veteran call to draw around the corner guard, even though it didn't work out in this case, and make sure the center stays open so she can at least score one, but probably guarantee a two if you make that draw.
And a quick hello to Courtney's mom. Thank you for joining me on the chat. Deirdre Arnold, I'm not sure that was the release that she wanted. Seems like it'll be okay. It was a bit of a stutter coming out the hack, but this is looking like a pretty good shot. It's maybe going to curl a little bit left on him, and so that they're not going to get both.
Yeah, a nice result there, and I suspect what we'll see here is a corner freeze here down to that yellow now. Essentially the same shot as attempted before, but with the added bonus of having the yellow there as potential backing. So a little adjustment needed here for Laura Yee.
Will need to curl a bit.
Okay, they backed right off this one. I think the weight's all there. And it really needs to curl over. Not even close to the yellow at the moment.
No, it needed to really just skirt past the guard, and it passed by the guard a couple of rock widths away.
Yeah, so pretty good weight there from Laura. Just didn't have the curl that they were looking for. But sticking two, so still in a good position with the hammer. Nothing out front except for that one corner guard. So they won't be too worried about this situation. They'll feel pretty comfortable.
It would be difficult to get both of them out of there. You would have to hit rather thinly on the ones on the button. And this is actually going to be close to that, but not quite. It's going to flash. So if they were going for the double, Deirdre Arnold missed by a matter of just a couple of inches. But that is, unfortunately, sometimes you get close to a result and you don't get it. Speaking of results, Sheet D, two more for Team Kirkman, a steal of two for them. They lead 4-0. I am in the catbird seat here, so if you get a view of the hack for which they're delivering now. You may see me and may think I'm much taller than Andy. I am not. I am just sitting on a high seat. I think Courtney wants another one in the house, pretty much along the same path. Probably figuring, go ahead and take mine out on the center. I'll just put it right back.
Yeah, this is going to be right down to their other one, which I think is not quite what they wanted, but sits 3, so still comfortable. And as you say, I can go after the one in the center, but you're going to be wide open most likely. So nothing really to worry about for Courtney's shot at the moment, but a chance to make a double here, make 2 go away, which would certainly improve the situation for Lynch. And it's possible that you could actually roll after the double slightly under the guard if you rolled just perfect slightly upwards, but we'll see. Just get rid of 2 would be great, and then force the other team to make something happen. So those 2 are pretty flat, but they're close together, so you should be able to get them both if you hit just the right spot. Some good weight there.
The opposite turn that I would have expected, and it's going to drift. This is going to flash.
Yeah,
It may have picked. That's curling considerably more than I would have expected it that way.
yeah, certainly seemed to behave strangely, so I have to assume that pick of some sort there.
It was interesting that she played the clockwise turn there. She would have had that would have hit the center and nothing else. And there was no way to get more than that. The stones are just not aligned there that she could have gotten a double out of that. So Courtney will have an opportunity to pack the house or guard. Or again, as Janine and I sometimes say on these, throw a Gaw or a Gerard.
Yeah, I think just looking to do both here, right? You put something in sort of the top 8 area.
Right.
Kind of serves both purposes.
Outcount that yellow that's off to the side, and she can be lying 4. Might end up leaving a double just because there will be so many rocks in the house.
Yeah, for sure. But I think they'll be happy with that, you know.
Certainly.
If you double 2 off, you know, you'll probably have a shot for 3, and that's a pretty good situation. So I'm not really wanting to throw the guard because it might give an opportunity for them to hide something. So just keep it clean and open.
We have more hellos on the chat. I will get back to you at the end of this compelling end. We're hearing a 4, but I don't know if that's from our sheet or another one. The line looks pretty good. Should nestle right on the center and perhaps in the top.
Looks really good from here. This is exactly where they want, I think. Just maybe a little deep, but a pretty good spot. Maybe they just want that 2 feet higher up, and it's perfect. So it could definitely make a couple of reds go away here, I think, with the right shot.
I suppose the ideal shot would be to get 2 of them out while leaving the shooter in a difficult position for Courtney to deal with.
Absolutely. The only issue here is there's a lot of jam possibilities, so you definitely get 1 out easily. It's not as easy as it looks to get 2 out just because the way the reds are lined up. It could happen that you only remove 1, but then hopefully your shooter is still in a good position. much better line here on this one, but it's still going early on it for line, I think. Definitely going to connect with something. Looks pretty good. And they do remove 2, so a nice, oh, almost. I spoke too soon. That red just might hang on, but I don't think it's going to matter. Pretty good shot there. I think that's about as good as you could have done. Unfortunately, the yellow shooter is in a pretty accessible position. So it's still a chance for 3, or even potentially 4 if you make the yellow double. And that red one in the back is actually on the rings, which is hard to tell from here. Looks like it might be.
There is a little bit of risk to this shot because obviously she wants to hit it to the left. If she were to hit it nose or to the right, she'll jam on her own and give up a steal of 1. So this is the obvious shot, so I don't know if we could say high risk, high reward, but the outcome could be a rather large swing. So a bit of a pressure shot here for Courtney.
Oh, absolutely. But I think you got to go for it. I mean, certainly it could even be the yellow is already shot, in which case you have no choice. It's quite close, hard to tell. So I expect a fair bit of weight on this. Oh.
I think this needs to stay dead straight from where it is. It's going to curl. This could be a disastrous outcome for Courtney.
I think it's going to be exactly what you discussed, yeah.
Yeah.
Just jams it. While they were on it straight away, they knew it was tight for line out of her hand. So
from almost a likely 3 down to a steal of 1. That is a disappointing result on that one. So hello to Kelly's parents from Tennessee, from the lovely state of Tennessee. Glad to see you've tuned in today. Kelly made sure before today's webcast that I knew how to pronounce her last name, Sennett. She said, kind of like Senate, but just a little different E sounded there. Her name's easier to pronounce than mine. Although I did quiz them. I said, D-U-R-E, pronounce it, and they all got it correct. Dewar. Quick update on sheet C, where Team Hamilton has scored 1 with the hammer to make that 3-3. I may have misread that, or no, I think we had that 3-2 earlier, so that is now 3-3 after 3 ends. And Kelly's parents will be happy to know that she just placed a fairly good center guard. The stock and trade of lead, which is why I cannot play lead. Of course, you may argue that I also cannot play second or vice or skip. I make a good alternate, though.
so going to go around this one, I think, straight away. It served them well in the last end. And it looks like a very nice weight here. Once again, going to just bury a piece of it, but mostly available. Just not as much curl as either team's expecting at the moment, I think. Running a little straighter. I blame the ice.
Right, who made this ice? This is going to wreck on the center guard. And will not take out the red that's in there. In fact, it will replace the center guard that is guarding the red.
I think it's similar to what happened in the last end. They improved the guard on the opponent's stone, unfortunately. And it's got to be a little frustrating. So, chance to go around again. And Lauren just threw this pretty much, so she'll be close.
Have an update from sheet A where they have blanked the third end. I'm keeping a little bit of an eye on that. We just saw actually a pretty good takeout from from Odessa Herrera, throwing second for Team Black.
So this one, it's going to come up just a hair light. It's might be just in the house, but it does serve, either way serves as another guard, which is pretty good. It looks like it might be on the rings, so it does the job. And I think we might see them try to draw down to the shot stone here. Maybe try to just move it. Looks like they might be going with a little bit more weight than that.
Well, the last shot is just tight enough of a guard that it would be tricky. Certainly a makeable shot, but not the easiest. You're right, though. This has a bit of weight to it. I wonder if they're just peeling a guard here. Perhaps even trying a run back of sorts. They're going to, well, they peeled the guard and actually put one of theirs into the house. Courtney's going to try to sweep it to make it not count, and she does.
Yeah, at least manages to get the center guard off. I think they were trying to go around it, but just a pretty big overcurl, but not a bad plan B to get that guard moving off the center line. So, Courtney Shaw drawing around the corner guard is now in play. Thanks to that half peel. This one looking pretty light.
I believe Courtney is saying this is going to become another guard, and that is indeed the case.
But once again, a good setup for Courtney's team here. Two of their own stones on the center, both of which are in the rings, and some corner guards. So great position for the team with the hammer. And a difficult attempt here coming up for Lynch to try and get at the shot stone. With the small amount of curl we've been seeing on the side of the sheet, and that rock is not accessible. You can't see anything from the hack, I don't think, so very small margin for error on this.
I think this will get past the guard. The question is whether it curls enough to get the shot stone, and it will not.
Yeah, it's just very difficult to get there with any weight because of the straightness of this sheet. I think next time you might see them just take off the top one, or maybe try to make it as a double. So Courtney is going to go around again, around the corner guard. I think a good one here, and you'll be in a good position for multiple score.
I believe that is Courtney yelling to try to get this past the guard. I can't see because Courtney's in the way. No, it just ticks on the guard. Well, they now have two center guards.
Yeah, don't think they'll be too happy with that. Sort of a 50-50. It's just a few feet light on the draw. Guards are slightly staggered, which I think is not ideal for them, but Lynch is going to be peeling.
It does slightly complicate the peel and also means that the shooter is likely to stay, so it would be difficult to have this shot end up with nothing guarding the center line. Of course, they could get a double take out there. No, almost got the shot stone, but not quite.
Really good attempt there.
Yes, it was.
And so Courtney here calling the split on the red that's just in front of the rings. The idea being, I think, you don't really want it there guarding the front, even though it appears to be helping them right now. What you'd like to do is have the shooter and that rock roll onto the rings. Sit 3. Really like this call. I think it makes sense. Make sure the center is accessible.
On sheet A, there are 5 guards in play that resemble the Big Dipper or a candy cane. In our feature game, I think this is going to hit the zone guard. They seem okay with that prospect. A little sweep from Lauren Luthi there, and well, they have a center guard again, The rock that they just tapped was just swept out of play.
Yeah, attempting to split, but just those are difficult shots because the weight and the line has to be perfect. Just a little, just hit so much of it with that weight. If you'd hit half a rock with the same weight, it probably would have worked out. But there's not much margin for error. Looks like the promote on the yellow is the shot here. Most usable rock.
I think this is going to curl a bit too much for them. Get the yellow into the house, and Courtney was going to try to sweep that, but it went out anyway. So again, two center guards only slightly staggered. I certainly wouldn't think that they could peel both of them without leaving the shooter. So Courtney in decent shape here with a fairly well guarded shot stone. Touching the button.
Yeah, here playing the tap on their red at the front of the house. Pretty similar to the last throw, just going for the straight tap this time, not the split. And the line looks pretty good for that.
Yeah, it'll get it into the house a bit and touching the 4-foot and in a spot that would be very difficult to remove.
Yeah, beautiful tap up there. Textbook.
Very good shot.
And if you're Team Lynch here, you're looking probably at the yellow run back or soft weight promote on the yellow. Either of those would be a good option. From that ice, it looks like they might go with some weight. Quite a big target in the 4-foot because two reds there, no gap between them. So if you do want to run it back with weight, you've got quite a reasonable margin for error.
Very quick update from sheet D. We have another steal of 1 for red. So that is 5-0 after 3 ends.
So not clear whether they're going to go at this with a soft weight or a firm takeout weight. Either way, I think definitely got to get one of those reds moving. So someone said board plus, so it's got some weight behind it, but needs to curl. And foxed again by the straight side here, just not curling with any weight. Does tick it over to expose one of the reds. And now at this late stage in the end, I think Courtney will be happy to guard with only skip stones remaining.
I'm going to try to keep an eye on the hammers on other sheets here. Sheet C, we are on the first of the yellow skip rots. They have hammer. Sheet A is rather complicated. The hammer will be coming in just a minute for Team Black. The lovely candy cane of guards has been disrupted, which makes me rather sad. Delivery now from Courtney Shaw in her new jacket.
And just looking for a guard.
Oh, that's drifting.
Definitely seemed to lose the handle or pick something up there.
Yeah, it's going sideways. It's going to just get over the hog line. It'll add to the congestion on that side, making a draw from that side now 100% impossible as opposed to 99. Hello, Courtney's mom. I just passed along to her that you say hi, and she waves back to you.
So some discussion here about the shot. This is their last rock without the hammer. Seems clear that they want to remove at least one of the reds. I think the hit and flop on top of the other might be the best option. Might even be able to get shot stone with the perfect little roll. Let's take a look at the house camera, see if we can get a better angle on it. Indeed, I think if you hit and roll slightly to the left as you're looking at it on the screen, I think you could get shot stone frozen. But a pretty difficult shot. But at least remove one of the reds. Giving up 2 is definitely not the end of the world at this stage of the game. Get the hammer back.
On sheet A, I can tell you Anna Senzali's hammer drifted a bit too far, and they took a long look at whether they got. We wound up with 4 stones at various spots of the 12-foot, so it's going to be very difficult to know what happened there till they hang the score on sheet C. Oh, a lovely double takeout from Laura Findlay there. Actually, I think that they have mixed up their order a bit because I believe Laura is in the house there. Maybe not. Well, for Team Findlay, it was a beautiful double takeout. Each of the rods that she took out had to go to an opposite side of their own rock and did that just perfectly. And so that was a score of, I think, at least 2.
Well, meanwhile, back on the feature sheet, successfully removed redstone, but Courtney Shaw is still sitting 1, so a draw for 2 in the 4th end, and to take the lead. No need to hit the yellow stone, just draw into the 4-foot. You could hit the yellow if you chose to, of course, but whichever shot you feel more comfortable with. And they're pretty happy with the line here, so just all about the weight. And it looks quite good from here.
I think so. Sweeper's just making sure. Well, sweepers are
a little light.
Sweepers are really working on it. I think it'll get there. No, I really thought it was going to get there.
So just the single, and that gives us a tied game after 4 ends.
Bit of frustration for Courtney Shaw. She's left a few points on the table here. Checking for score update. Oh, we do have an update from sheet C. That double takeout was good for a score of 3. And a big swing in that game because that could have been a steal of 2 or at least 1. But again, the great shot there for Team Findlay, and I don't know who's really skipping on there, but they are up 6-3. We don't yet have a score update from sheet A, and sheet D has not yet completed the 4th end.
Is it still a guard? It looks like it's in. Okay, make it good. It looks like it's good.
Kelly Sennett now delivering. The score update from sheet A, yellow scored 2. So a little bit of a costly shot there from our young team. Giving up a steal of 2 after the blank. And to Kelly's parents, I'm trying to let her know that that you say hi, but I think I missed my opportunity there. So 2 tie games at the moment on sheets A and B. On A, it's 3-3. B, it's 2-2. Sheet C, it was tied after 3, but again, that beautiful takeout to make it to 6-3. Kelly now delivering the second of her shots, and maybe trying to, hard to tell if they were trying to bury it under guard or tap up the red. Well, they end up exposing one red.
So I stepped out for a minute. Was there a free guard zone violation there? Looks like they were moving rocks around.
I didn't see one. The last shot that we had was the yellow that you see in the rings now tapped into the 2 reds that were in the house, knocking one of them back to the back 12 foot and leaving the other one shot stone. So I'm not sure why they would be moving rods around unless someone bumped into one in the rings. Had a tumble on sheet C. Someone sweeping. I did that once and conked the back of my head, and it made me very tentative on the ice for several months. Paul says she accidentally pushed it over with her foot while sweeping, so that would explain why we had a couple of rods moving around.
Successfully peels off the top red there. Pretty good shot. And an interesting setup here for Lynch. They've got a good rock underneath the yellow guard. It's not shot at the moment, but it's a very useful buried rock. So it's definitely the potential for multiple score here already in this end. Shaw needs to continue making these guards. And only one mistake needed, and then an opportunity for Lynch. So pretty interesting setup for both teams. So another guard attempt.
And I have just managed to tell Kelly that her parents say hi. In fact, she wanted to verify that it was Kelly was just waving up to a camera. Not sure if it was the camera that was on. Kelly's parents, you'll be happy to know that she was very happy to hear from you.
And speaking of mistakes, that's exactly what has happened. That guard coming too deep and leaving a double here to sit 2. So over curling here, might hit something, but
take the back one, which is not the worst result because now red probably has shot. We're not entirely sure from this angle.
Yeah, it looks like it's just red still, but not into 4 foot anymore. And looks like another guard coming anyway.
I don't think Laura Yee is happy with that shot. Turned around and gestured a little bit, but I think it's,
Laura, you got it. It's looking really good.
if it drifts a little bit and
Keep bringing it.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty good shot.
it does
honestly.
look pretty good. I'm not sure what Laura Yee was upset with about that. I mean, it leaves it partially exposed on the left, but not.
No, a nice position. Perhaps
Yeah.
just, a little, unhappy with the technical aspect of the throw, but got the results she wanted. So
Yeah.
certainly sometimes, you feel like you didn't throw it well, even if the result was good, but pretty much exactly what they were looking for.
Every once in a while, you have a shot where everything seems wrong with the delivery, and you just sort of fling it, and it works.
And someone that needs the curl to catch anything. I think it's a little bit too much weight to get the curl they need.
It is. It's going through. It's going to take out the back one, and the shooter will roll out.
Doesn't change too much about the end. Probably we'll just see another guard here, double up on this.
Do you want to come this same way? I'll just give you last.
And then either Lynch will either have to peel or consider running in the corner guard, yellow corner guard, but probably don't want to do that at this stage since it's protecting their second shot.
Yes, tight, tight, tight. She's tight.
And that one definitely
Okay,
seemed
last
tight for
go,
line,
last
and Courtney called that immediately to sweep for the line. But they only need a high guard here, and they don't have to be exactly in line.
It'll be left of center by about a rock width or so.
And I think they'll be okay with that result.
Over the top, Laura.
Not quite overlapped, but between the two guards really covers all the options to get to the shot stone. So peel coming up.
Yeah, certainly no direct path to that shot stone at the moment. On sheet D, they have finished the epic fourth end with yellow, Team Sheffield from Butts County, picking up their first of the game. So that's 5-1 to Team Kirkman. This one has a fair amount of weight, as if they're trying the raise takeout here. And again, that's another really good shot for Deirdre Arnold that just misses the outcome she was hoping for.
That's the moment of truth. You like the guard? I like the guard.
Yeah, nice throw. Peels off the guard, so that's
does.
good. And another one has to be put back. Still a chance to get two here in this end for Lynch with one mistake. The shot zone definitely accessible at the moment, so guard is required. And now the two yellow guards are now overlapped in such a way that a run back would not be possible for Courtney anymore to get at the yellow stone. Unlikely that would be tried anyway at this stage, but
Certainly seems like she's going to guard or even tap the red one. Again, we're not entirely sure if the red one is shot. It appears that way from our overhead, but we've been wrong on that before.
I think based on the way they're playing the end, it must be the case. If they weren't shot, I think we would have seen Courtney either move it or attempt to go after the yellow by peeling the guard at some point.
I think so, and this shot was clearly not designed to tap it. This is clearly a guard. And the line looks good, the weight looks good. Everyone's happy with that, and in fact it looks like from this angle that it is lined up to where it would be pretty difficult to get both of them out without leaving the shooter.
Yeah, a nice position there for the guard. I think probably have to attempt the peel and then ideally get them both. Not easy, as you say, and then hope for a mistake on another guard attempt. And if all else fails, you still have the 4-foot available to draw for your single. So, and you also have, in fact, those two yellows are lined up untappable into the 4-foot if you have no other avenues. So, still a couple of chances here, and should have a shot for one no matter what. In fact, perhaps looking at that promote now. maybe calculating that it's too late to peel those guards and try to access the red. Also, might be possible to draw through the center, depending on how much curl there is. From this angle, really it looks like that tap up is the easiest shot, the two yellows. We will see. Looks like they have gone away from the peel idea.
Certainly taking a good long look at this. I'd say it's a pivotal moment in the game. It's obviously a close one. On sheet A, we're looking at the hammer from Anis Afzali with Team Black. Again, they gave up a steal of 2 last time when the draw attempt came up a bit strong. It looks like here she is drawing against 2 with no other red rods in the house. There's an array of guards out front. Maybe tap one up. No, I think that's another steal of 2 for Team Fermender. Back on the feature sheet, this one's going to hit a little to the left of, is it going to hit any of these guards?
Gets through the port, but just comes up to just shy of the red stone, so not changing too much about the end.
If they could throw through that same port with some weight and take out the red, they'd be in great shape, but I don't think they could get through there with that much weight.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like it's overburied already. It seems that wouldn't be possible.
Which I think is exactly what Courtney Shaw just said.
Thank you, Courtney, for clarifying that situation. So Courtney's confident that that yellow-red combination can be moved significantly. And so it looks like we're going to draw behind, try and sit another shot. Nothing else really to guard. The only thing worth guarding would be the double promote. There is a run available potentially for 2 if you run one of the red guards into the yellow-red combination and stick both of the yellows. But you have to run a red stone in, so pretty difficult shot. I think that's the kind of thing that you can leave knowing it's a low percentage.
Yeah, I think Courtney is going to draw to put another one in there.
Yeah, and I like this call. Sort of, if you successfully make it, it means that even a run back like that, even if made, wouldn't do so much damage. Probably just be a first single, and puts a little bit more pressure on.
Yeah. In fact, the run back could even jam.
Absolutely. So
if it's placed in the 4-foot, that is.
Probably looking for a back. Well, ideally you want to be in front of the house, but with the rock positions as they are, that would be very difficult. So probably looking at back 4 here.
Back 4 would be a very good spot, and this one, the sweepers are on it. I think it's going to get past the guard. Question is how much farther. It's not going to, well, it's not going to be in play for a shot of any kind, but it does take away another path, and so to score here, I think Ellen Lynch is going to have to look at a rather complex series of raises.
Yeah, we're currently looking at red onto the yellow-red combination, which, if made perfectly, would be for 2. Looks like the only way to score 2. And the only other option for a single would be a double tap on the 2 yellows on the right.
That would try to scoot one in from the edge of the 12 to the 4-foot, which I don't think is what they're trying. Judging from where the broom is, I think she's going to try. the counterclockwise turn here and go from right to left.
Yeah, it looks like the raise on the run on the center guard. It's for 2 if you make it perfectly. And they're not too far away, but it just needs to curl a bit more. I don't think it's going to do it.
No, and that's going to be, we're assuming, a steal of 1 for Courtney Shaw.
Not too far off with that one, but a lot of precision required.
Not an easy shot at all. Quick updates from other sheets. That was indeed a steal of 2 on sheet A for Team Fermender. They lead 5-3. Believe I just saw a steal of 1 on sheet C for Team Findlay as Team Hamilton's hammer wrecked on the guard. They have not yet posted that score. So the only verified score through 5 is on sheet A, and now on sheet B, where we've verified that was a steal of 1 for Courtney Shaw. For Laura, Lauren, and honorary Laura. I'm sorry, Laura, Lauren, and honorary Laura. Kind of reminds me of the great 90s rock band, the Donnas. Actually, as opposed to the 2000s. So I remember listening to them to and from work at USA Today. Back when I held steady employment. But if I still held steady employment, maybe I wouldn't be here on a Friday.
Well, we're very glad that you are here, so.
I do have some of my spreadsheets open for work on other other windows on my laptop in case I have time to work on it between games. I don't think I will. And also, this is a wonderful place to be, and probably chat, but it looks like this draw attempt is going to come up heavy, and Courtney Shaw is going to give it a big sweep and just get it out. So Courtney gets her exercise for the day.
Yeah, chance to just draw around the guard that they threw previously. Set up another good end.
Billy says we should do a Donna song. Billy, I listened to Veruca Salt's Volcano Girls on the way over here, and we need to do that one. I think that would be awesome. Leah can play bass, and I can just bash around on drums. This draw attempt got 3 sweepers on it, and I feel like that's for show because I think, well, no, it's not going to get buried.
No, not buried, but a nice spot.
Yeah, not
overlapped here with the red. Makes it a little bit awkward to go after.
Very quickly, sheet C, we do have a score update. That was a steal of 1 for our yellow team over there, Team Findlay. So that is 7-3. That game has broken up open a bit. We have some tight games, so those of us who are hoping to grab an early lunch might be out of luck. But that's fine. We like to see good games here.
Yeah, this one not having the line that they were after, so going to peel out their own guard. We're trying to run their guard onto the yellow, but over curled. And so, Lynch with a good setup here. 6th shot already. Probably consider draw to one of the open sides, or maybe split the yellow that's in the top 8.
I think the call was a draw to the button or close to it.
A bit of a slip there, but the weight doesn't look too bad on this. Maybe just a little bit heavy.
Courtney's getting ready to sweep this one.
But it does go to the back, making use of the red backing, so good result, good shot.
They are certainly first and second at the moment. Courtney taking a look to see if a nose hit might remove both of those yellows, and I think it might, and I think Courtney thinks the same. And Courtney calls him off immediately. This one doesn't look like it has a handle at all.
Yeah, it's called immediately. It's must have been something a little funny with that release there. And we'll get another chance at it in a minute. In the meantime, 6-2 for Lynch, and looks like just going to draw another one in there. Don't think they're going to go for a guard here since they have the hammer. And neither of their stones are that close to the button, so
this one, I think it's going to tap the one that's in there in the 12-foot, which wouldn't be the worst result.
yeah,
And
it's
indeed it
split
does.
them apart a little bit. I think I'll be pretty happy with that rock positioning.
Sorry guys, I just don't know how to.
Courtney is calling for a 9-second takeout, 9 to 9.5. Again, that's between the two hog lines, so it's like a normal weight takeout here, trying to make this double.
I don't think she lights the line right away. It might be narrow. Well, if they can hold the line here, they have a chance. No. Well, no, they moved the yellow, but they moved it farther in, so that's a 2. That shot was a little narrow all the way.
Yeah, yellow still sitting 2 here, so pondering how to improve the situation without giving their opponents an opportunity. Now looking at drawing into the 4-foot. To be honest, I would consider drawing the open side here, sit 3, and keep the center clear. The only risk with this is if you go to the back 4, accidentally you leave a freeze opportunity, which kind of takes the end away.
You could also leave a bit of a double if it's right on the button. Then if Courtney were to be able to hit it on the nose. Sweepers are off of this one. Now taking a look. Coming a bit light, which means it sort of works as a guard. It's going to scoot past though, and they are lying 3. Not a bad outcome there.
Yeah, a pretty good spot in the end. I think we'll see probably a takeout on the front one here. Courtney wants to have a discussion with this. It's not a great setup for them. Line 3 against, and not really an easy double available. Perhaps you could run that red and make the double that way.
The whole team taking a look at this one.
Yeah, it's a very interesting situation. None of the hits on the yellows are particularly appetizing because they don't leave your shooter anywhere useful. And the draw against 3 is not particularly appealing either. Really want to remove some yellow stones. So it looks like they've decided to play on their own red here. A lot of good opportunities. If you catch it slightly on the high side, you might make the double. If you catch it slightly on the inside, you might you take out 1 yellow and roll in. So they feel like they have a good margin for error on this.
Unless you hit it on the nose and send it straight through.
Yeah, I was trying to tell if there was actually space to go through.
From the overhead, I think there is.
You're going to be pretty unlucky.
Courtney has a good eye on it.
And it's going to clip the, I think this might work out pretty well. Well, it removes 1. I actually didn't think you could get through there like that. But
actually removed 2 because it took out the one at the back.
Yeah, actually very good result. Yeah. I think not quite how they drew it up, but they knew that there were a lot of good potential outcomes with that.
And Courtney is gesturing to us, and I have no idea what she's trying to say.
It was certainly animated, though.
Yes, it was.
And I think she'll be overall pretty happy with how that throw turned out.
Okay. She was saying it was like pinball, or if you're a Price is Right fan, perhaps like Plinko. This looks almost like a guard.
Yeah, it sounds like from the sweeper saying 2-3. And I'm not sure if the guard was the call. It may have been, but it's not going to curl enough.
No, it's barely a 2 with a lot of sweeping.
Yeah, so suddenly a pretty scary situation developing for Lynch. Suddenly 3 reds and 1 lonely yellow open.
And that yellow can certainly be hit.
Yeah, just would like to flop to the side a little bit to avoid the jam at the back. So as we're looking at it here, we want to hit slightly on the right-hand side, flop underneath the yellow guard. Good opportunity. And this end really turned around very quickly in the last 2 or 3 stones. But still jam potential. Definitely, if you catch it a little bit on the high side, it'll go straight into the back reds and stay for shot.
But yeah, I like down control to be good. Good throw on your last one. That really ran straight. And I was like, something good will happen, and it did.
On sheet D, we have a steal of 1 for Team Sheffer, so creeping back into that one at 5-2. Courtney's shot has plenty of weight. Got 1 sweeper on it as if trying to inhibit the curl a bit. I think this is going to get past the jam. It is past the jam, and Courtney Shaw lies 4.
That's a beautiful shot there. That's perfect roll. Good weight choice. Didn't throw a rocket at it through a controlled weight. Give it a chance to curl. Well controlled by the sweepers. So all sorts of trouble now suddenly out of almost nowhere for Lynch. With only a couple of rocks left.
Well, she can draw to a place where Courtney's rock at on the back 8-foot provides a rear guard. She could draw one in that would be difficult to get out of there. Of course, if she does that, then I'm not sure how much of an opportunity she would have for 2. On sheet A, we have another steal. Team Furmender has stolen its way to a 6-3 lead. Ellen Lynch now with one of her skip rods in. Sweepers on it. If they can get some curl on it and get a bit of weight, I think it's going to come up light. I don't think it's going to outcount While these Reds, well, they're getting just enough on it to where they got shot stone.
A great try. Did not bury it, however.
No.
And not an easy takeout because of all the jam potential, but if Courtney can repeat more or less what she just threw.
She'd be lying 5.
Absolutely. I think nose would be perfect here. You'll clip the very back red, but that's okay. That red's not really important. So I think right on the nose is what they're after. And then not really a lot of options, just to draw on the right-hand side of the sheet as we're looking at it on camera.
There's absolutely nothing that yellow has that could be promoted. They have a high guard out there, but the path into the house will be blocked. I mean, they can send it off to the side of the house, but wouldn't now count any of the Reds.
Sugar's calling a 10. That's the same weight as the last takeout.
I think it's going to hit.
Just need to make sure it doesn't clip the red first, and that's
Boom.
a great shot.
Very nice. 2 very nice takeouts from Courtney Shaw, and now things are looking very difficult.
Yeah, only the out-turn draw are really available now.
Drawing against 5 is never an ideal situation when you're a skip.
Absolutely, but that's why they pay you the big bucks, right?
You could have all 5 in a cluster on the one side of the 12-foot, and still, that's just mentally, that's a difficult thing to have in mind, and this is much more difficult than that.
Absolutely, got to grab a piece of the forefoot. And just deciding where they need to put the broom for this one.
The good news is just a piece, and there is backing.
Yeah, it's definitely, in situations like this, it's a lot of pressure, but you have to put all the other rocks out of your mind and just think about making a draw. Not think about what could happen or the other stones that are there. You're just making a draw to the forefoot. And in practice, you do it all the time. So that's what you got to think about.
So this shot to tie it now, at worst, Courtney Shaw will get the force. Sweepers are on it, but I think it might have the weight. Curling a bit. I think it's going to miss the guard. I think this is going to, well, actually now suddenly all 3 sweepers are on it. Kind of surprised. Oh, and it has gone past, and that is going to be 3.
Just an oversweep that had it out of her hand, I think, but hard to judge.
I think so. I'm very surprised that they had a 3rd sweeper hop out on that when really they needed that one to stop. Quick score updates. We have a steal of 2 on sheet C, so Team Findlay now has a 9-3 advantage, and unless something big happens here in the 7th, that will probably be our first game to be off the ice. So I'm sure Courtney Shaw feels a bit relieved now. Left a few points on the table earlier in this game, but it's now taken a fairly commanding 6-3 lead with 2 ends remaining. I think if you tell someone before a game you're going to be up 6-3 after, with 2 ends to play, I think people would generally take that.
Absolutely, and I think you'll see them trying to keep it pretty open from now on. Lead stones are going to go into the house, and we won't see them putting too many guards in play, at least not on purpose. So this one drawing into the 4-foot area. That's exactly what they wanted. The pressure's on, or rather the onus is on Lynch to make some guards and make something happen here.
Paul, if you're still watching, I'm sure you're happy with that shot. try to peek at sheet A because I'm always interested to see how there's so many good young players here at Potomac, and several of them are in action over there. They have such good form. They're almost like Canadians, how close they get down to the ice.
I think some of them might actually be literally Canadians.
Well, Bruce Black was saying that he did attend college in Canada.
I think, meanwhile, attempt at corner guard, I believe, just went a little heavy, so into the rings. So Lauren Luthi trying to take it out. But sweeper's called on straight away. And I think it's going to be by it.
Yeah, that's going to flash.
It's always a little tricky as the lead. You know, you don't throw a lot of takeouts, and then it's the 7th end, and suddenly you've got to make one. You don't have a chance to get your eye in, so. But it's a bit disappointed with that one, but still pretty early in the end. So we'll see corner guard attempt. Try and guard up the yellow stone that's still in the house now.
That doesn't look like it has the line for it.
Yeah, it looks heavy as well. The sweeper's not touching it, so it's going to be right down to their existing yellow, I think. Or maybe it will just hit the brakes just in time. Slipping into the rings. So definitely a double available.
Right inside nose, Flora. 9.5.
I believe Courtney is called for right inside nose. On sheet A, Diana Black is delivering the last of the Vice Rots, is staring at 4 of the wrong color. Tried to undo some of the wall of guards up front, and she did.
This one's pretty close for the line. I think it might. Inside.
Very nicely done.
Great throw. Doesn't quite get the second yellow out, but sitting 2 red, so a good shot. Courtney's a little miffed that she didn't quite get the line for get both of the yellows out, but a good throw nonetheless.
Well, I don't think yellow is going to want to guard that one. So
yeah, a little bit too far to the edge of the house to really be dangerous. So going after the 2 reds now.
Of course, an open house would suit Courtney Shaw just fine here.
Absolutely. A good throw coming in here.
This is. It might get a little bit of a roll. No, not. I thought it was going to get a little bit of a roll, but not quite.
Nice weight control. Gave it every chance to make that roll. Just very difficult to get underneath there, the way the rocks were positioned, but did the best they could.
Actually, yeah, I like this. 10's fine.
So keeping it simple here, just gonna remove the yellows when possible. Force Team Lynch to do something difficult.
This one has to stay on line. I think it will. This will hit close to nose, if not directly on nose. And nothing wrong with that.
Mission accomplished. Now these 2 are very close together. Possibility to double them by hitting in between, and then you would sit 2, but it looks like, well, perhaps that is the call. It's definitely going after at least one of them. And those shots are never as easy as they look. This one curling early. Looks like they will take one out. And a little bit of a roll. Good shot. And we'll see an exchange of hits here, I think, for a while.
And unfortunately for yellow, these hits will all drag the action farther and farther away from the button, and they are already not shot.
Absolutely. Really kind of looking for a mistake from somebody here to try and get your 2. or making a perfect roll somewhere.
This might be that mistake.
Well, makes contact, but
actually bumps it. Well, it's still open.
Bumps it for shot, half buried. Yeah, not an ideal result. And
it's a good thing this isn't the hammer, or this would be a shot for 3.
Absolutely. Red is a little awkward, though, for Lynch. It's not easy to remove. And it is second shot. So don't really want to go after the red, but it's kind of helping them at the moment. So too dangerous to go after, so just drawing to the side of the sheet. I think I like that call. Sit 2, make the opponents do something.
Well, this is not, well, needs to get some late curl to be the split that they're looking for.
Yeah, it must be a little heavy, just not picking up any curl.
So,
well, it's slowing down. Gonna sit around in the house. Just stayed a bit straight.
yeah.
But I believe they're sitting 2. Let's just check on our house. Well, maybe not.
I don't think so. I think that's 1.
Might have gone just too deep.
We're second.
Well, Courtney believes that they're second, so once again, very useful confirmation. And so not so much value in hitting that yellow then, but of course it's always good to remove the yellow rocks at this point. So going to go after it anyway.
If you like draws against 4, you're going to love sheet A at the moment.
Have we seen out here? I think it's going to be straight.
And Stanzali needs to go out wide on sheet A, which is always a tough spot going along the wall here at Potomac. This is going to be heavy. I think we're going to see handshakes on sheet A. Yes, we are. Sheet A, that's a final of 10-3.
I think it was like
Promising start with 3 there for Team Black, but then just with the hammer, they gave up, had a blank in 3, then a steal 2, another steal 2, another steal of 1, and a steal of 4. So that's our first final of the day. I think we're about to see a final on sheet C as well. Not even sure what they're trying on sheet C, but it doesn't work, and it's a steal 2. And we have handshakes on sheet C as well. I believe that we can call the final score on that one 11-3. So we can draw our attention back to our feature game. Although I think Andy's attention was on it the whole time, which is good. I'm able to sit in the catbird seat and look around while Andy gives you the camera views of what's going on in our feature game.
Yeah, so yellow, it's still shot at the moment, despite a nice hit and roll in the back 8 by Laura Yee. And so now I think the plan is, Courtney believes they can use the red onto the yellow combination here with probably like a bumperish weight, board weight. Just drive the yellow out of the house and sit 2 or 3. It's the most easiest way to get at that yellow. Guard was thrown to try and cover this, but it's long enough that looks like they can get around everything with some weight.
They can get rid of this yellow, then they would be in very good position to force, because then that yellow one, you wouldn't be able to get all 3 of the reds out, I wouldn't think, even with 2 shots at it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you'd have to see them try some kind of freeze to something, or ignore some of those reds and just try and get something buried. And this one hanging a bit wide though. Don't think it's gonna make contact. Well, just makes contact, but only makes the angle worse for them, unfortunately. Now lines the red yellow up to the back red and more undercover. So I think that shot no longer available. But they'll be happy to force here. a single for yellow isn't really enough. They need at least 2.
They can set it up to where they're lying to, with one of them fairly well buried. Looks like they're taking the other draw path.
Yeah, looks like indeed going to draw around, maybe freeze to the back. Sit 2. Don't have to completely freeze, of course, just need to get under cover. But important to get something in here and sit 2.
The sweepers are on this right away, and I don't, from here I don't like the weight, but I'm not on the ice.
It doesn't look like it has the line either.
It's going to dink their own guard, which adds more of a guard to the one that shot Stone. So, but it's not exactly like Courtney Shaw needs a steal here.
Absolutely, and probably looking at a shot just to prevent the opposition from scoring their 2. Happy to give them 1. Just draw down and maybe just bite the 4-foot so that you can't hit in lie 2, or maybe just shy of the 4-foot to make sure. Be nice to get shot, but not really necessary here. And then if you nose hit, then the red at the back 8 would still be second shot.
They'd probably be happy to get this one in the 8, so that if it were hit, it wouldn't be shot, and the draw path on the other side for 2 is gone, thanks to that last shot. So anything that plugs up the 4-foot on the left side would be just fine.
Yeah, and a good lesson if there's any like beginning curlers out there, you know, maybe looking at strategy, like you don't have to score every end. This is a good example of that. 1 point doesn't really do enough for yellow, so they're saying 1, you can't get to it. That's fine. Make the 2 difficult, and that's exactly what they did with that shot. There's still room to come around everything.
Yeah, I think that drifted a rot's width too wide for Courtney's liking there. So
Yeah.
there is a draw for 2. All they have to do is get any piece of the 4-foot.
Yeah, touch 4. Seem to be looking at maybe moving that, but that seems pretty dangerous. And the draw seems to be the easiest path to 2. And it looks like that is what they're going to go with now.
It'll be off. I don't see any way to get 3. There is no way to remove all 3. They'd have to remove all 3 red rots to do that. So
yeah, definitely off the table, yeah. But 2 would be good, keep them in the game. 2 down in the last end, certainly doable.
They would just need to engineer a steal, and they're, barring disaster, they'll get 1.
So hammer coming up here. Alan Lynch just needs to draw the 4-foot for our second point. Need to be precise with the line, but there's definitely room.
Needs to curl, but this way it certainly should.
Pretty
Will
close.
We'll see if they oversweep it again.
The line is very close. It looks like she might have it. Beautiful draw.
Oh, very nice.
Great skip draw there. And so there will be 2 yellow, and that's a much needed 2 that keeps them in the game as we go to the 8th.
All right, Andy has ice duty, so you're going to be stuck with me for a little while. sure why I switched to the house camera, because this is certainly not going to go to the house. This is going to be a center guard from Kelly Sennett. Looks like Lauren is trying to draw around this, and it's going to be another center guard. And it's actually going to bump the yellow into the house. Oh my goodness, not at all what they wanted there. So Kelly Sennett now trying to take advantage of that opportunity a little bit. Get around this center guard, get two in the house. Don't think it's quite going to get there. Or maybe it is. Don't think it's quite in the house. But it is looking pretty good. And a good bit of weight here from Lauren Luthi. Probably too much weight. That's not going to hit anything. All right, so we're going to see Michelle Walker now, the second for Team Lynch. Right, 6-4. So they do need two here to keep this going. Looks like they'd want to just put another one in the house. Give you an update on sheet D when we get it. They're finishing up another rather complicated end. And speaking of complicated, got another fairly complicated shot there. All right, the shot now from Laura Hoyer, and hard is the call, and okay, well that removed the guard, but put another one up there. All right, Michelle Walker up for Team Lynch. This has drifted very far to the right, very far. Trying to get a little bit of curl on it to get it into the house. And they will. So they are line two. And again, good bit of weight being thrown here. So much weight that I can't keep up with it on the cameras. There you go, and we're going to see, all right, fewer guards now. Deirdre Arnold on her way up. Show you where we are stone-wise. Thanks to all of the wonderful little toys set up here by the wizard of the webcast, Ken Clark. Deirdre Arnold. Another one where they're going out wide, and I think they might have gone too far wide. And I don't like the weight either. And they guarding a draw path somewhat, or guarding a takeout, I should say, guarding the one of the ones. Well, let's take a look at the rings now. Yeah, that one is biting. So here we go with Laura Yee. We hear yes right away. Yes right away. What is she trying to get? Is she trying to get the first shot stone that's in there? Well, if that was the intent, mission accomplished, because she got that, and now we might be in an exchange of hits for a while that would eventually end outside the house. Courtney gives a nice little phew. On sheet D, there's far too much going on for me to comprehend. Deirdre Arnold, here control plus was the call. Guess going after that red rock and will not get there. Will instead peel a guard, which is not a good result there, because now Courtney Shaw can target, or Laura Yee, playing for Courtney Shaw, can really go after one of those. Not quite sure if that's the intent, though. This might just peel a guard, which, well, yeah, nice shot. So, red is line shot with hammer, with a 2-stone lead, and both yellow rods are exposed. All right, so we're going to see the first of the skip rots now from Ellen Lynch. Just show you the split screen for a little bit. Quick reminder to show we are on Skip Stones. Sheet D, we're about to see the hammer here from Team Kirkman, which again is being skipped today this morning session by Robin Flavel. Like a bit of a stumble on that. Maybe trying to, okay, just trying to take out the red and get a roll. But they're only lying one. And they need to, this could be the last rock. If Courtney Shaw can just hit this yellow one in here. And it doesn't matter if she puts one in. She just needs to prevent a steal of 2. So the Triangle Club is going to be relying on Courtney Shaw to miss this rock not once but twice. And she is, as you can see from the team name there, Courtney is the honorary Laura. Show you where the broom is being placed, right there. And here goes, we're hearing yep right away. We're hearing hard. I don't know about this. Yes, I do. There it goes. So, is Ellen Lynch going to try to tap her own yellow in? Because I'll show you the house. You can just about see the yellow at the bottom there. So she's going to have to try to tick her own yellow in and have it outcount the red and have her shooter outcount the red. So the degree of difficulty here is about the degree of difficulty on a Simone Biles shot, Simone Biles routine. Going to quickly give you a score update. We have seen a steal of 2 on sheet D, and all of a sudden, we have ourselves a tie.
It's getting weird up here. It's like Wonder Twins, but with the triangle. So what are we doing?
There is a potential to hit that.
There you go. All right. So, an entertaining shot coming up here from Ellen Lynch. Oh, she makes this one, all bets are off. I don't even know how you judge the weight on this. Sweepers are on it. Okay, so remember, both yellow rods have to be in play, and that is not the case. Yep, so we will see handshakes there. Courtney Shaw will not need to throw her last. So that is a final on that. Let's see what I can show you of sheet D. This is rather tricky, but it can be done. Okay. And I will try to let you know what's going on over there. The house is indeed empty. There's a shot from Team Kirkman, which again held a 5-0 lead at one point, and then 5-1 has given up 4 points on the steal, on several steals. Unfortunately, I don't have names to give you here. My apologies for the camera work as I try to get used to showing you sheet D. See that a lot of our triangle people have bailed out, and probably Courtney's mom as well. Bye, Courtney's mom. I'll be back on the webcast on Sunday. Trying to see which stone we're on. I've not yet been able to see. Yeah, unfortunately, sheet D is the most difficult to watch. At least from our perspective. Okay, so that was the third stone of the end for red. No, and the names were names have not been updated. Okay, so never mind. I'm not going to be able to show you any of the names over here. You're just going to have to settle for me telling you that this is the second of the rots for the second for Team Sheffer, who is Amy Mensch, and this one is going to go through the house. Again, we got a tie game here. And there you go, open house, so to speak. Well played by all, says Courtney's mom. Yes, it was indeed. Glad you were up this morning, and I'm sure it's warmer there where it is than it is here. Right, so second rock on the way from Susan Armiger. And they'll be coming into view in just a second. Looks like they are trying to get one in the house. Someone has to get one in the house at some point, right? And they took one of their guards, and no, it just... We'll show you. There's nothing there. They have left a bit of a draw path now. Unfortunately, it's not their shot. All right, so I can show you one name here because this is Jill Cardamone. Oops, sorry. I'm just going to stop trying to deal with that. So they're trying to draw along the wall. Always tricky. Are they going to get it past their guard? Yes, they do, but in order to do so, they had to, well, uh-oh. Look what we have here. Or at least we would. There. Sorry about that, but sheet D really is difficult. Okay. So we are on, what did I say we were on? Okay, so we're on the first of the rots for Pam Smith at the moment. And it looks like she is targeting that rock that was just thrown. Is it going to get past the guard? No. And yellow is now sitting two. This is a stunning turn of events here. Again, this game was 5-0 for Team Kirkman at one point. And now they have a chance to put another one in here. I don't think they can get it buried. No, they can't, but if you can have three. No, just going to be a guard, which actually works just fine. Let's see. Yeah, you can see that one at the bottom left of that view. All right. So one more here for Pam Smith. And, oh, very nicely done. Bonk. gets shot out of it. So the question is going to be whether yellow, which is Michelle Sheffer, can follow that rock down. Ideally freeze. So now I've finally got my nice name stuff working. Someone's racing down. Oh, that's actually, I guess they wanted to see how much they could see from the hack. We unfortunately can't help them from this angle. We can delivery is on its way now. This is hugging the center line. That's going to be, this is going to be difficult to get past the guards. No, don't see it, although it's turned into an interesting run back of sorts. No, so that's not going to do it. All right, we'll keep the view.
Are we webcasting the next game as well? Just make sure.
All right, what are we looking at now? Take another view of this situation. This will be the first of the rots for Robin Favell. Robin Favell playing skip today for Team Kirkman. Linda Kirkman could not be here this morning. Linda Kirkman, a fine instructor here at Potomac. If you have a chance to learn from her, please do. I'm making fun of Courtney's hand gestures. I'm sorry if Courtney's mom is still watching. All right. They are, the next draw starts at noon, hopefully. I don't know about that delivery. That seemed a little bit shaky to me. I mean, I know I'm not one to talk. The sweepers are sort of raising their hand and escorting it. Boy, the last thing they want to do is take out their own red. And they don't, but they leave. Well, let's see. Yeah, they leave a path to where yellow to where Michelle Sheffer could come down and freeze on top of that red, perhaps, which would make it rather difficult. Well, we have the call. And again, to show you, you can see if you see a deflated disc, that means that stone has been thrown up, and we're going up and away right now. This one's going out kind of wide, and I'm not sure that's going to do it for them, because red is certainly shot. Well, let's see. Coming into the house now, it's going to need to bump their own into a shot. It will not. So handshakes it is. we will call that a, say, Team Kirkland. Team Kirkland with a score of 1 in that final end. And so we're done here with the 9:30 draw. I would go back and show you replays, but we need to get moving at this point and get going to the next. Yeah, we need to get going to the next. And so farewell to all 19 of you who've stuck around for this long. We will have the next stream up in just a minute or so.